Well, good morning, and welcome to the Daniel Sauls Show, where you will witness sports talk and debate from yours truly, Daniel Sauls. Well, there's nothing else left for me to say, so let's get started! Today, we're going to be talking about the Baltimore Ravens and if they're special, if they're going to get to the Super Bowl. Let's see. Here's the question. Are the Ravens the real deal? No, they're not. They're not the real deal. I can't stand listening to ESPN and Fox Sports analysts talking about how great the Ravens are because they consistently were great. They were consistently in the top 5 teams in the league for the past few years. And they failed to meet expectations. And they failed to exceed them. So how can we sit up here and say that the Baltimore Ravens are either the best team in the league or a top 3 team in the league? How can we say that? How can we really make an argument to say that they're going to be in the Super Bowl? No, they're not. They're not going to be in the Super Bowl. And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to back up my points for just a few reasons why I feel like, in the past few years they failed, how they've done, and all that stuff. And I'm going to show you why they're not going to get to the Super Bowl. First off, the hype behind this team is utterly ridiculous, like I said. I think it's completely ridiculous how this team has gotten this much hype when they failed many of times. Like in 2019, they were 14-2. Okay, that was their record. They were 14-2. And then they lost in the divisional round to the Titans. 28-12, and it was the season where Lamar Jackson won the MVP, and John Harbaugh was the coach of the year. So you have the best coach in the NFL, and you have the MVP of the league. So how do you not win? How do you not beat the Titans? I mean, come on now. Ryan Tannehill? You lost. The MVP lost to Ryan Tannehill. No excuses. Then the next year, they were 11-5, a little bit worse, but they're still relatively great, very formidable. They won the wild card game against the Titans. They got their get back, 20-13, they won. And then they ended up losing anyway in the next round, which is the divisional round. They just can't beat anybody in the divisional round. They lost 17-3 to the Bengals. Really? Really? The Ravens are consistently great, and then they fail to get past the second round. Then let's go to 2022, okay? 2022. They were 10-7, okay, and this was last season. They were 10-7, so they were a little bit worse than 2 years before. They lost in a wild card game to the Bengals. So then they couldn't even get to the divisional round. They're not a good team. They can't get past the second round. They could barely even get past the first round. They lost to the Bengals 24-17. I don't understand why this team gets so much hype when they all of a sudden fail in the playoffs. There's been numerous of regular season teams, and they can't do anything in the playoffs. In basketball and football. There's teams that are like that. There are players that are like that. That's what I talk about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid for the Sixers. The hype and all the expectations behind this dude. They're saying he was the MVP. He's the best player in the league. He's this, and that. They were the favorites to get to the finals. They didn't get to the finals. They didn't even get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, what are you talking about? These players aren't that great. Well, they are, but their expectations are too high. You're putting a standard on somebody that shouldn't deserve that. That's what you're not understanding, is that these people, these analysts, are putting expectations on these players and on these teams that are unrealistic. And they're making their careers and they're making them look worse. And that's why I'm telling you right now, this team is not as good as everyone says they are. They're a good team. No doubt about it. But they're not a Super Bowl contending team. I can guarantee you that. They're just not. They're not. They always get hyped up and then they come crashing down in the end. That's the biggest factor. Will they be able to get past the first and second round in the playoffs if they make it? Will they be able to face these top-tier teams in the AFC? Will they be able to get to the Super Bowl and win? Those are big, big question marks. You don't know the answer, but I'm telling you right now, it's most likely not. The biggest thing about it, the biggest mistake that people make is when they say Lamar Jackson is an elite quarterback, when he's really not. Lamar is not elite. He's not. There's only 2 elite quarterbacks in the league right now. Just 2. And that is Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. And then everyone else comes after that. Everyone else. You have probably Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. And those 2 quarterbacks are on the borderline of really good and elite. And depending on how they do this season, then they'll get into that elite category. Or they'll stay where they're at. Lamar Jackson is in like the top 3, like for sure, really good quarterbacks. He's not elite. He has done nothing to make him elite. I would not put him over Burrow. I would not put him over Mahomes. I would not put him over Allen or Hurts. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. And you're talking about a player that mirrors the game that Michael Vick played. Same thing with like Jordan and Kobe. To mirror image. Just a little bit different. And Lamar Jackson is playing that exact same way. And we never considered Michael Vick to be elite. Ever. Michael Vick was running past people. He was making people look stupid. He was scoring touchdowns just running. Like, yeah, he could throw the football because he's a quarterback, but like his main game was running the football. He was running like it was nobody's business. Like nobody could stop him. But nobody was saying he was elite. Nobody was saying he was elite. He was elite at running. He wasn't elite at being a quarterback. A quarterback. He is not elite at a quarterback level. He's not elite. He's really good because Lamar can run. Lamar can throw. He's doing a lot of great things, but he's not elite. I'm sorry, but running the football effortlessly does not make you an elite quarterback. Being an elite quarterback takes a lot more skill than just running the damn football. I'm sorry to tell you that. The hype behind this dude is that he's fast. That's it. I don't want to hear anything else about it because, look, you can throw up all these stats all you want, but if Lamar Jackson couldn't run, nobody would be talking about him right now. Nobody. Jalen Hurts can run the football. Kyler Murray can run the football, but they can throw the football in a different way. They can throw the football effortlessly. They can throw the football at an elite level. These guys, Lamar Jackson cannot do that. He cannot throw a football at an elite level. He does not have the IQ of an elite quarterback like Mahomes or Burrow. He does not have that skill set. He does not have the mind to be an elite quarterback. He just does not. He doesn't. And you're saying that he's elite, and it's actually messing up his career because he's not elite. You're ruining a guy by setting expectations that are impossible to meet or impossible to exceed because he is not that good. He is not that great. He's a really good quarterback. He is not elite. He's not. My prediction for the Ravens this season is they're going to get bounced out in the second round just like they always do. And then we're going to go back in this loop saying, why did Lamar Jackson not meet the expectations? Why did they get to the Super Bowl? What happened? Is Lamar injured? Is there something going behind the scenes that we don't know about? It's all excuses because at the end of the day, he's not as good as everyone says he is. It's always going to be this way. Lamar Jackson is behind everyone else when it comes to the elite quarterbacks like Mahomes, Burrow, and Hurts, and Allen. That's it. And then he comes behind them, and then there's everyone else. But Lamar Jackson can be elite. He can make himself elite. He can get his team to the promised land. He can get them to the Super Bowl, but he just has to work more. He has to do it. He has to look at everything. He has to make better decisions. He has to do just more than running the football. He's got to do a lot of things. He can't just run the football and be elite. And he cannot just run the football and make his team all of a sudden Super Bowl contenders. It's not how it works. Not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Daniel Sauls, the host of the Daniel Sauls Show. And I'll be back with another video for y'all guys very soon on my channel. Make sure to go like, subscribe, turn post notifications on as always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video, and let me know if you think the Ravens are going to get to the Super Bowl or not. Let me know if you think Lamar Jackson's elite. I mean, it's not going to change my mind, but I would love to see the comments. I'd love to see what y'all have to think and what y'all have to say about everything. That's going to do it for me, folks. Peace out, y'all.